You looking at the Wrong Brothers show. Once more and again, got Sid in the house as always. We on location. We got Val in the house for the very first time. Look at this. Now, what we're doing is we're trying to show off the beauty of Little Rock, right? And we want to talk about some real things. We want to keep y'all attention. So brought Sid out here. We brought Val. Val, tell us a little bit about yourself. Val is she's pretty smart. She's pretty smart. Now, Val is psychology.
That's right.
Major. She knows her stuff.
Yeah.
And she has we brought you down here because I know that we want to talk a little bit about relationships, right? Because we talked about it on the Wrong Brothers.
Yeah.
About the challenges of relationships.
Yeah.
What you have to deal with in relationships. I know as a psychologist or as a person who studies psychology.
Okay.
You probably know a little bit about that kind of thing. So Sid, you had an issue that you brought up one time before to me. I think it had to do with marriage, and we were talking about being faithful. And would you say, I'm just jumping in it, would you say that's the hardest challenge for all guys right now that are married? Would you say that's the hardest thing?
I wouldn't say it's a hard challenge.
You don't think that's a hard challenge?
Nah, I wouldn't say that, man.
So guys that are married right now, guys that are married right now, they don't have any kind of problem with being faithful. You don't think that's the problem?
I mean, usually, man, if a guy ain't faithful, it's more than just because he saw a woman walk by. I mean, it's more of communication, probably. Maybe this woman said something or can talk to him better. I mean, there's a lot more to it than just, I'm just gonna find the first woman and be unfaithful, you know. There's a lot deeper than that. But if you talking about a man being married and looking at other women, that's what you talking about? What we talking about here, man?
What do you call cheating, though?
Oh, cheating?
It depends. Wait a minute.
You said looking.
It depends on what you call cheating.
Okay. But
I'm not saying you personally. I'm not saying you personally.
Yeah.
So what's your definition? Hold the fuck. We know we got. But
Nah,
for a guy,
is.
what's your definition of cheating? No, serious. What's your definition of cheating?
Actually doing the act, man. I mean,
doing the act of actual sex.
That's my opinion. Yeah, that's my opinion. And I know they gonna say it starts before the act. Cheating starts before the act, right? Right? They gonna say it. That's the saying.
What do you think?
It starts with love. It starts with conversation. I mean, all that go into play. But until you do the actual.
So it's only when you're actually doing the act of sex that's when it's cheating.
In my opinion.
Okay. The look on Val's face right now tells me she disagrees.
I want to hear her opinion on that. Man.
You want to hear who's
opinion? Yeah, definitely. It's coming from a woman's view. I want to hear that.
What do you think? What do you think cheating is?
Well, that in itself.
When does it start?
One of the issues, because if you have to draw a picture most of the time for people to get the picture, if your woman, you see her, let's just say you saw her out here walking with a dude, would you characterize her as cheating?
What if my woman is walking around with some dude,
strolling through the park
through here,
another guy, yeah,
through here, out the blue,
yeah.
I'm gonna ask what you got going on.
She gonna say we just strolling through the park, catching up. You're not gonna feel no kind of discomfort in your stomach.
It's not gonna bother you, right?
It's not gonna bother you at all.
She's just gonna casually see me strolling through the park next week.
This is Emerald Park, man. This is Emerald Park. We out in the middle of nowhere, man.
Though the real definition of what a person calls cheating, because to me, my definition of cheating, like he said, it started way before you get together.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that.
I just.
I don't think you said that.
I just kind of thinking that. I'm just kind of thinking
asked
that.
a question.
I insinuated it.
He asked a question.
Insinuated it.
To me, it starts way before you actually even get in each other's presence.
But it does. I know.
That conversation, taking that number, taking a phone number. If somebody casually, can I call you sometime? Or, I like when you get your hair cut, can I get your number? If you're not even keen enough to pay attention to the signs of somebody flirting with you, and you give your number out, okay, you good. Still good, but that's skating in that territory.
Just because you didn't know.
Because you didn't know.
Now, if you're doing business with this person,
if you're doing business,
no,
long as you know, then you keep it business. As long as the person if you keep it business, you good. But as soon as you cross that line, well, let's do lunch sometime and catch up. I really enjoy talking to you. And you be like, okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
Well,
And then you gonna tell her,
man.
you gonna tell your wife, you gonna tell your girl that I just thought she wanted to do business and talk about business. I do lunch and talk about business.
But it be the truth though, right?
Well, would that bother you if she did that joint though? If
If it's
she
the
did
truth.
that.
No,
If
now
it's
wait
the
a minute,
truth
hold on.
now.
Oh, Emerald Park, you walking through here now.
Okay.
You know it's secluded out here, man.
Very much so.
Yeah.
It's so secluded
Your
that
wife walking
anything can
around
happen.
with some guy on this trail right here. You just happen to be jogging through here, and
And you
see
gonna
her.
dismiss
Okay.
that.
Now, what you gonna say?
And you
No.
laying next to her at
Come
night,
on now.
and you're not gonna have no thoughts going on.
Man,
What did
what
you
you
do?
talking
What did
about?
you really do today?
I won't be able to
Now,
sleep.
how can I can't handle that any different than if I'm going to work and she doing the same thing? And I don't know.
Well, that's true too. You
That's
know,
true,
like
but
she
what
may
you
be
done
doing
saw
the
with your
same
own
thing.
eyes? You just saw with your own eyes.
I saw her walking.
That's what I'm saying. You saw with your own eyes. Her with somebody else.
I
in the
didn't see them.
same park.
I didn't see them naked with each other. You know what I'm saying?
But you gonna be okay with it though? Honestly.
I'm not. Honestly, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna be okay with that. You know
Why
I
you
asked
not
her
gonna
what-
be okay
I'm
with
gonna
that?
walk up to her and say what's going on.
Uh-huh.
Because I gotta know what's going on.
So when she say, we're just strolling through the park, baby, you gonna be like, oh, okay, carry on.
Just
No,
like that.
you're not. No, you're
Nah,
not.
I didn't say I was.
I know, I'm just saying, I'm answering for you before you get it
Yeah.
out. No,
But
you're
can I
not.
consider that cheating though?
Do you
But,
consider it
I mean,
cheating?
I'm saying that's the question. Is
Yeah,
that
that's the
cheating?
To me, it is.
I can't say that's cheating.
That's the-
I can say
that
that.
is the
Okay, I saw you walking
initiation.
with somebody.
That's the
Now I'm gonna ask you:
initiation
have
of-
you cheated with this person? That's the next
Well,
question.
okay. So what if she hasn't gone through the act of sex with somebody? Okay, but you know they connecting and all this other stuff going on.
That's gonna
You
be
know,
in the back of your mind
Yeah,
forever.
the mental connection and all that,
Like,
all that going on.
Are you mad
that
at
doesn't
me?
bother
You probably
man?
go out be with that guy I saw you strolling through the park with. Every turn is gonna be that guy in that image of them strolling through this park together.
That's a bad feeling,
Regardless.
y'all.
I'm gonna say with me.
That's a bad feeling,
I'm gonna
y'all.
say with me at the age I am now, and the mindset I am now, there's got to be a reason she's walking into the park with this dude.
Yeah, don't you gonna ask yourself that?
I'm gonna ask myself that.
Yeah.
Are you
What
gonna
am I
ask her
doing or
that?
not doing, and what is she not getting?
Right.
What is she not doing
What is-
to make her stroll to the park with this dude? Because it's more to it than just I just want to stroll to the park with somebody
Exactly.
right now. So that's what I'm saying. But
That starts other questions, right?
But technically, it's not cheating though.
It's okay.
Oh man, I don't know.
To me,
all right. I mean, what you consider?
So-
What do you consider cheating?
All right,
You got me on the spot here.
I don't
man.
know. I know. No.
You got me on the
No,
spot
no.
here.
No, I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just saying no. Me personally,
Uh-huh.
I think cheating is when you I think, look here. Up here.
Okay,
up
I'm here.
is
I'm
where
listening.
cheating begins.
Okay.
I'll be honest with you. Because if you have a strong connection with somebody and they know y'all have a strong connection, y'all just keep on feeding that connection,
Yeah.
that could be a problem. You're cheating. You already know that you're going down a bad road, and you know,
Okay, we cut in on that.
and I know you're gonna cut in. I know you gotta talk now.
You said it's up here, right? Okay. All right, if that's the case,
He in the view. He
cheating.
looking good in there,
Everybody
right? He in there.
cheating.
I just want to make sure he in the shot.
Hey. Hey, we all cheating.
Don't
niggas.
step
I'm
away
sure-
from the shot.
I'm pretty sure we saw somebody. We Joe said in our head, well, damn, you know. I wonder, you know what I'm saying? But you ain't never hop out the car and go over there. Hey, what's your phone number? What's your name? You just drove by.
so my turn to cut in.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah,
Okay,
buddy.
so from my point of view,
Oh boy.
honestly, if you didn't thought about it, you done already done it. I'm just saying.
What? If you already thought about it,
You
Yeah.
done it.
you've already done it.
You
might
already
as-
guilty.
You might
You
as
thought
well
about
have.
cheating?
Yeah. If
You
you
might as
thought
well
about
just
it.
go on
If you
and-
didn't actually have that thought, oh, she look good. She right size too.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
I'm just saying. if you had all of those thoughts and you didn't thought that thing through, you already guilty in my
Wait a
book.
minute. I don't know
But
about
it's
that
just a
now.
quick drive.
That's
I mean,
that's a big.
you
that's
can
Yeah,
a
you're
drive
big
gonna
dream now.
okay.
Come on
So you're
now.
gonna find people
I'm
attractive.
saying you drive by, you see a woman like, okay, yeah, okay.
You remember one time we did the Wrong Brothers?
I mean,
You
you
remember-
stop it.
You remember one time we did the Wrong Brothers? We came back from Houston.
Uh-huh.
He was trying to find out, a goose was trying to find out
Uh-huh.
what the girls look like. What the girls, oh, we don't know, man. We have blinders on. We don't know.
Yeah.
We were just out there doing our thing, trying to show.
Yeah.
You know, that's how you gotta be. You gotta pretend like you have blinders on.
Yeah.
Because you can't notice
But
somebody
you
who
said
look
pretend
good.
though.
Huh?
You said pretend.
You gotta pretend.
Now, you said
gotta
it's all in the mind, though,
It's
man.
in the mind.
So
you
in
gotta,
your mind,
you
you're cheating, but you pretending that you're not thinking about this.
it's a form of meditation.
Control.
I'm saying
It's
is
a
that.
form of
You
meditation.
gotta have that control, that
I'm
mental
saying-
control. You
I'm
do.
saying, can I say, is that natural though?
Natural to
you-
not
Oh,
think
now
about
that's
it.
a different
natural.
story
I'm saying
now.
you do something.
Is it
I mean,
natural
is that
for a
natural
man
for a
to
man?
notice a beautiful woman
And
So
not
I
and
will-
think like that?
I will
Miss
speak on
Psychology.
that. I will speak on
Uh-oh.
that. I
Come on
will.
now.
So mentally, as a human being,
Mm-hmm.
we are physically going to find other people, humans, attractive. Women either find other women attractive. That don't mean they gay. You're like, well, that's a beautiful woman. You know, nice. She got it going on. But that don't mean she gay.
Right.
A guy, yes, he gonna find other women attractive.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of moving on it, if you move on that attraction, if you move on that thought, if you go and masturbate off of that thought,
Uh-huh.
if you go and take those thoughts past that attraction,
Right.
it's human nature to find, that's normal.
Yeah. That's not
me,
cheating though.
No.
That's not cheating.
No.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, masturbation is not cheating.
Okay.
Wait, I said find people attractive. Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Wait a minute. Wait, rewind.
Hold on. So
Rewind.
you saying you do the actual, if you do the actual do,
Huh?
if you do the actual do, that's cheating.
Yes, but I gotta go back on what Dre said. You took my words straight.
I twisted them around.
You
a little
did.
bit. I twisted
You
them around.
did.
Yeah.
Because I said finding someone attractive is not cheating.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
Right. You pointed
So-
yourself like, find somebody
Okay?
attractive.
No, if you find somebody attractive, that is not cheating because that's normal.
Right.
It's human
right,
nature.
Right.
But if you move on that attraction,
That's
is what I
different.
said is gay.
Right.
I'm not gay, but cheating.
Mhm.
And so if you go and masturbate because
Right.
you're thinking about whoever you saw on the street
Right.
or whatever,
That's
Yeah.
cheating.
that to me is cheating.
Oh.
If you spending too much time thinking about that person, it's
Oh.
cheating. If you figured out a way, how can I see this person again? To me, you already contemplating. That's premeditated cheating.
Masturbation is cheating, y'all.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
buddy.
just saying.
That's
You
some
got a
news
woman.
right there.
If you got somebody already, why do that?
Send
That
you-
means you need to go talk to her. That communication, that thing that's so important, communication and relationship.
Mm.
Okay, so this is what I get from watching the porn.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I get from it. So you need to have a communication with open dialogue with your mate.
So
Right.
Tell them.
So tell me this: Do you think one person can be everything for another person?
That's a real good question.
Let's make sure. Can I want to say it loud enough and make sure everybody
I'm
heard
saying,
that.
do you think one person can be everything for another person?
Can what do
In
you
a
mean by
relationship?
everything?
I mean,
Everything.
can
now.
that
Everything.
person be the best person to talk to, the best person to go to on certain things? I mean, everything. Like communicates well with you, does everything well with you. Y'all get along well. I mean, y'all handle children well. I mean, can that one person be your everything? Because me personally, I'm giving an honest opinion.
Mhm.
I don't think so. Even in my case with my wife, I
So
don't think I can
a
be
man
everything.
can't be everything to one woman.
Nah, I don't believe that, man.
What do you
I don't
mean
think
by
a woman can
everything?
be
Just
everything.
so just in case the listeners have a problem with that, what do you mean by
the
everything?
whole idea of a relationship or marriage.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be with this one person give you everything. We know the deal, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Is that feasible? Is what I'm asking.
Good question. And my response to that is yes.
What?
Yes.
You think that a man could be everything?
That's the answer?
Yes. Yes. Why would you
Okay.
marry somebody and they're not your everything?
Now I'm saying this though, I mean.
But that brings up
now,
the subject. What
that's your
exactly
answer.
is marriage?
Now I'm saying this. Now is that feasible though?
Is it feasible? It's hard to come by, but
Mhm.
it's feasible.
It's feasible.
It's possible. It's feasible. Yes,
Mm. Mhm.
it is.
Mm.
Because I don't want to marry nobody who missing a couple of levels, things that I need on my priority list. You should have a priority list of things of priority, of importance. And those top things got to be met. If they're not, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be
a problem.
cheated on.
It's gonna be a problem.
Now,
Yeah.
on your list or his list?
That's my personal list.
Okay.
I'm saying to people in relationships, I personally feel that everybody should have a priority list when you're considering dating. Okay, I know most of y'all married or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So when you're considering dating, you should have had a priority list. This might be something you never even thought about. But in my years of dating, and I've been married, I was married for 5 years before.
Mhm.
this is what I've come up with. You need a priority list. And in those categories, the things that are your top priorities, whether it be he got to be a good communicator.
Okay, that was gonna be my next question.
What, communicator?
Communication would be the best.
That's one at the top. That's one at the top.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have a good conversation, if you can't talk to that person about any and everything,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be married to him. Because right there, you already leaving the door open for that better communicator to come in. And then you're going to be on the phone late night talking to your better communicator instead of your wife. When you're in trouble and your whole relationship falling apart, you're calling your better communicator
Yeah.
instead of talking to your wife and trying to figure out what's going on.
The other woman.
Exactly. It works that way for women too. It works both ways.
Wow.
It does.
Both ways. Because if...
Because obviously he communicated with another woman.
Exactly.
There you go. And you know what that
She
leads
thinking
to?
the same thing.
So if he got all that conversation going on with your wife, I'm just using your wife for example, somebody, is that cheating?
What does that say again?
He got all this communication going on with, say, for example, your wife.
This person who communicates better.
And they talking all the time late at night. Is that cheating? Remember, they ain't
She
done
talking to
anything. They
him
ain't
about
done it. They ain't
everything.
the act yet. They
Matter
ain't
of
the
fact, he
act.
probably know everything about
The
you.
act, the act ain't happening, especially now. You know, women talk.
I mean, it's a process of cheating. I give
It's
you
a
that.
process
But
of
it's-
Because cheating is
But she ain't
a
cheated
Done.
yet. He ain't cheated yet. Okay.
cheating is a process.
All right.
It starts somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't just see that person walking down the street unless you that type of dude and jump right in the bed with
What
him.
does she have to do to get to
So
be
it's a
cheating?
process.
Look at her. Give him a hand job. What the hell? I mean, what you got to do?
I'm saying, so you say that she
I don't know. I'm just asking.
Well,
I'm asking you.
So your
Cause you
opinion,
asked me.
but your personal opinion. At that point, that kind of communication, you talk to somebody regular every day. So what's going on? What you doing today? You
Right.
have a good day? No, I didn't have a good day. Well, I'm sorry you had a bad day. Is there anything I can do to make that day better?
Oh,
no.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying that. I didn't say that.
I'm asking. So with all
No,
of
I'm
this
not saying that.
I
dialogue,
want to make the day better.
do you consider that cheating?
I consider that part of the process heading towards cheating. But to me, cheating is actually doing that.
So you got to actually have sex.
Yeah, I don't think
You got to
that's
actually
my
have
opinion.
sex in order
That's
for
my
it to be
opinion.
cheating.
You have
Okay,
to
go ahead.
actually be doing that.
You got to actually
So-
be doing
that.
that.
I got another picture to drop.
Oh man. Oh man. Are we still in frame over here? Everybody looking
We
good
still
over
in frame, I guess.
You had to
bro.
make sure, man. You ain't
I
moving.
got another picture
Just
to
make
draw.
sure.
If
Everything's still
if
running.
you have to do the do to be considered cheating, so let's just say, okay, so you find out your wife talking to somebody else, and they have dialogue. They claim they ain't done nothing, but they just talk on the phone. And I'm just saying.
And I'm gonna ask her. I mean,
Okay.
what made you want to talk on the phone with this person?
Now, why would
I'm
you
gonna
want to
go into
ask?
it.
Why would you want to ask?
If it's just conversation, it's not cheating.
it's
Because
not.
that's my wife, right?
Well, yeah, that's true.
If it wasn't my wife, I wouldn't ask her that.
Okay,
I would
okay.
ask you.
Okay, that's number one.
You
That's number one.
talking.
Okay, that's a
Okay.
good question. Good answer.
So, I mean,
All right.
I'm gonna ask her, what
He
made
shut-
you want to?
He shut me down on that one.
Did she-
Couldn't say shit
Did she
behind
give
that
me
one.
whatever? Then I'll go from there.
So
Y'all don't know.
Let's-
E back here in the back. E back here in the back. Yeah, y'all don't know, but he back there in the back.
but if she did that, let's just say she said, well, does it bother you that I talked to this person? That you saw me walking in the park with him? Does that bother you?
Does it bother
I'm
you?
gonna say yeah, it does. Man.
And why does it bother you? Remember, she not cheating.
That's because she ain't cheating on me. It don't
Are
bother
you
me. now.
insecure? That's gonna be the next question. Are you insecure? Are you worried about what you're doing?
We're gonna interview E next. Now, don't worry about that.
Depends on
Don't
her
worry about
answer.
that.
Depends
We're
on the
gonna bring
answer
him
she
in
gives me.
there.
Depends on her answer.
Depends on the answer.
Okay, so
Yeah,
she
I
can
don't know.
have several answers, and let's just say, well, he's easy to talk to.
And then, like I said, at the mindset I'm in, I can say probably so. You know, it might be.
Oh. Hey,
mean,
you know, if you already going
I
through
ain't
some
easy to talk to.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey,
You're not easy to talk to.
who not easy to talk to?
That's what he said.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
So, but
No,
that's
We
okay.
talking about
I'm just
hypotheticals.
talking,
Yeah,
man. I know,
hypothetically
hypotheticals
speaking.
now. Not real. Don't want to jump to real life now. We got hypotheticals now.
Hypothetically
Hypotheticals
speaking.
now. Come on.
So you're gonna say that relationship can
You don't want to
continue.
get no trouble. Yeah.
That relationship can continue. You're okay with it now, because yes, he may be easier for you to talk to. I'm good with that.
Nah, I'm not gonna say I'm good with that.
So you're gonna want her to dissolve that relationship.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it depends on her answer about their relationship. And she said, well, it's a business relationship and such and such.
No,
this and
he's just easy to talk to.
Yeah,
that. Easy to talk to.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the answer she gave you.
Hypothetically.
That's the answer she gave you. Yeah.
So you gonna let her roll with it?
You gonna let her roll with it? No
dissolve
problem.
that.
You're gonna let they just go.
You gotta
Okay.
get rid of.
All right.
So let's just say she has another one of these same kind of.
I know y'all do. Hold on.
Two?
I know y'all asking
No,
me.
because he said the actual do is cheating.
Plane ticket.
I
Plane
know y'all
ticket to
asking me.
Brazil. We going to
actual
Brazil,
dude.
brother.
But y'all haven't
We
answered that
leaving
question
now.
yourself, though.
Okay,
What?
so
No
for
way.
me-
He's so
Yeah, come on, Dre. What's your answer?
Hey,
What's your opinion, Dre?
you initially asked me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry. Well, hey, what's my question about? What's the question? What's the question?
If that happened to
Casual
you,
conversation.
Oh man, shoot, I'd be worried because communication, I think, is everything. I think that it's the aphrodisiac of all aphrodisiacs. That's what I think.
Yeah.
If you, like they say, conversation
agree.
rules the nation
It
for real.
does.
And you know, sex is one thing, but really just being able to talk and being able to deal with regular life with each other, that's what marriage is really about, right? So if you can't, you know, if that's not straight, but yet somebody else can communicate better, that's huge, man. That's like a stab in my gut.
But what is they saying though? On
That's
your
huge.
end.
I said now I
that
need
cheating?
to correct something.
do you consider her cheating at that point?
At that point, yeah, especially if I would. And here's the thing: what you have to do, unfortunately, if you really care about it, you have to kind of look at yourself though, because it's like, well, did she drop any hints
That's what
that
I've been
she
saying.
was not getting this and that and the other? Did I not do anything about it? Thus, is she looking for it through somebody else? Is this all my fault?
It-
You know, do I have a right to be that mad?
To
Is
me-
that really called
to me,
cheating?
it depends
anyway?
on the woman.
You know, and the situation.
You know that she was riding before you got with her. Okay, you might expect something, you know, but
Right. All right.
if you don't expect something and you know that's not her usual character, then maybe you're gonna ask yourself what I do.
Right.
But if not,
I agree with that. But my personal opinion on that, I'm just saying, because we're talking about cheating, and it's the conversation, the communicating with another,
Lord of mercy.
the opposite sex considered cheating. I say it is because a few things that were dropped that Dre said. That is where it starts. Communication rules the nation, and like he said, as the aphrodisiac of all aphrodisiacs, communication.
See,
So
right.
it has to start somewhere. To me, cheating is a process. Like I said, you're not gonna just jump out your car, your truck on the first cutie you see and jump into bed with them.
Not
It
never.
starts somewhere.
Not
depends
necessarily.
on the person now.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. You're right. You are right about that. You are absolutely right. So to me, if it was my dude, yeah, that's cheating.
That's cheating.
Because at that point, I can't trust you.
So how do you handle something like that? All right, so somebody is on the phone. Let's say that we draw this scenario. Somebody's on the phone, cheating in the next room.
Now I want to know from a woman's perspective though. I
Okay.
mean,
Isn't that the song? Cheating in the next room.
like if you find your man conversating with another woman, are you gonna look at yourself and say, like we just said, are you gonna look at yourself and
Of
say, what am I
course.
doing?
I
And
do.
what make him?
I didn't in the beginning when I was younger. I'm 38. I didn't in the
Okay.
beginning.
Mhm.
Even when I was married, I probably didn't. However, now I do. If I'm dating someone, I'm going to say, well, what the heck? What am I not doing? What's missing from me? I'm going to ask him. So what is it that you find so easy about this person? Why is it so easy for you to talk to her? Why can you come to me and say, hey,
Right.
I wish we had a tighter communication, a better relationship. I wish we could talk. I wish I could talk to you about more or talk to you about everything. I feel like the person should have came to me first.
You would
Can
think
I
so.
get the opportunity to fix it? To make it better first? You
What
jump
if-
straight to somebody else.
What if they had, but in their own way? You just didn't.
No. That's a type of communication. Are you with the wrong person in the first place?
Exactly.
Are you with somebody you don't know how to communicate with
Exactly.
accurately? You know,
Exactly.
that's a, you know, sometimes we fall in love, we get married to people. I've seen it, and it wasn't the person they should have gotten married with. You know, they may have wished that everything go well and all that, but it's like, dude, I mean,
I think
it just
everything got a
not-
reason.
Everything got a reason, but
You
know,
learn from it.
True.
Yeah.
True.
You learn.
But that's like you said, that's why we should, in the beginning, make sure that communication
And there's
level
my
is there.
Excuse me.
This is the Wrong Brothers Radio Show. My name's Agbad. We got Sid in the house, Val in here. Val probably wondering why people call him Agbad. I call him Dre.
Yeah.
Everybody in the world calls me Agbad except for people at work.
I see them.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah. But anyway, there's a couple of people at work that do call me that. Yeah, it's a few of them at work. They know the website. They know the thing, so they keep calling me Agbad. You probably, if you ever hear anybody call me Agbad,
that's why.
What's up.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All of it.
Yeah.
So we're talking about marriage, cheating, stress.
Talk about stress yet?
Not
And
yet.
you don't
okay.
think that's stress? If she cheating in the next room, you don't think that's stress? That's stress, brother.
Yeah.
That's stress. To me, it is.
I don't know, man. It depends on the person.
Nah, that's all right. I'm gonna let you go ahead.
Hey, man, look. You can't rack your brains about what other people doing, man. You can't control people. To a certain extent, you can't control people.
You can't control people. What exactly is marriage? What exactly is marriage?
Hold on, I answered that first question.
What exactly is marriage? Is there
Somebody
a
listen to
reason?
that.
is there a reason or an advantage anymore for us to encourage anyone to go through the process of legal marriage?
Get boys in trouble. Man.
Is there anything about legal marriage, seriously, that we should? Is there a reason why we should be talking anyone into legal marriage? Is there any benefit?
I say yes.
Okay, can't wait to hear this.
I say yes.
Okay.
There's a lot of advantages to legal marriage. Just like with anything else, you have to sign a contract. You have to sign, some kind of bond. That's been since the day you were born. Your birth certificate is a bond of life. So I believe that contract needs to be signed in order to make it legal, but not just for those legal purposes, but because there's advantages of being the wife. There's advantages of being the husband.
What are the advantages? I mean, what would you say is the big advantage of being a wife?
Well,
No, you sit there giggling and coughing.
No.
Look at this guy.
For one,
I know he got a good
I'm
one.
listening.
for one,
Listen.
let me tell you this. So for one, men always want to stake their claim on a woman as their property.
Property.
In the sense of, I've seen this drawn out in many different ways, okay?
Oh Lord, here we go.
I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm listening.
Everybody wants to be with you, but everybody don't deserve to be with you. So the person who deserves to be with you is the one who's willing to sign that contract.
What? So wait a minute. Hold up. So you have to.
Lifelong commitment, baby.
You have to sign.
Yes.
You have to sign a contract, a financial contract with the woman and the state.
Yeah.
In order to prove that you care about it.
That's the really top of the line, proving your love and how much you in this relationship